Many of you are still having trouble with this week 10 assignment. So basically what you do is after you find your 3 credible sources and you've gone through the kapow, all right, so first you put in the website web link. So you would put in www.cdc.gov. Then you put the title of the page and you would say the impact of COVID. Okay, so you go back to the web page and you find the title of the page or the title of the article. Then you go back to the title of the website, which would be CDC, and then you write out what CDC means. Then you use kapow and you tell me in 1 or 3 sentences if this source is credible. And so you would say this source is credible because C, it is current 2020, and then you have A, the author is a doctor, so he is credible, and then P, this article is for educational purposes, and it is not an ad. And then O, objectivity. Okay, this article is not biased and presents both sides of the issue. And then W, writing, style. This article has no grammar errors and has a formal tone. So that's how you do credible. How you tell if an article is credible is when you have C-A-O-W, kapow, when you have the kapow. And so when you do this analysis, that's how you evaluate when something is credible. Next, you take a sentence from the website and you quote it verbatim. So let's say 70% of people who smoke die of lung cancer. Okay, so let's say that is your in-text citation, and then you have to remember to put in a quotation over here, and you have to remember to put a quotation over here. Then you have to put in the author name, then you have to put in the date, then you have to put in the page number. That's it. So when you cite a source verbatim, you have to put in the quotation marks, you have to put in the author, the date, and the page number. Nothing else. Then when you paraphrase it, that means you're putting it into your own words. The majority of people who smoke die of lung cancer. And then when you do this one, when you do a paraphrase quote, you don't need quotation marks, and you just have to put in the author and the date. When we write our references, then we write the entire citation. So then we write Smith, Patrick, then you put in 2020, the date, then you put in the title. The title is usually in the impact of COVID-19, and then you put in where you got it from, the publication. So in this case, it's CDC website, and then you write in your web address, www.cdc.gov. And that's it. So it's in your reference citation that you write the whole thing. When you write your in-text citation, which is in the body of your paper, you only use the author, the date, and the page number, and you put in quotation marks. When you do a paraphrase, this means that you're summarizing it in your own words. Then you don't need quotation marks, and you just put in the author's name and the date. you don't need a page number. Then for the references, the reference citation comes at the very end of your paper, and that's when you put in the author's name, the date, the article name, where you got it from, like the publication, and then the website. And so if I wanted to do another one, I would say www.americancancersociety.edu, let's say. The title of the page would be American Cancer Society. Title of the website, American Cancer Society. And then you do the same kapow. So you would say, this source is credible because of C, it is current, 2020. It's within the last 10 years. Anything within the last 10 years is current. A is for author. So the author is a doctor, scientist, so he is credible. Purpose, it is not an ad, it is for educational purposes. And then O is objectivity, okay? It presents both sides of the issue. And then W, writing style, it has no grammar errors. So that's how you can tell if something is credible. Then if you want to write a in-text quotation, APA direct quotation, you put in here, you put in quotation mark, and then you write in your quotation from the website. And then you put in another quotation, and then you put in the author's name, then you put in the date, and you put in the page number. If you're going to paraphrase it, then that means you put it in your own words. So COVID-19 is more serious than the flu. So in this one, you don't need any quotation marks, and you just have the author and the date. So when you write the reference citation, you put in, if it's a book or an article from, let's say it's an article from a scholarly source. So you could have the author's name, you have the date, you put in the name of the article, and then if it's from a journal, you could write American Medical Association journal, and then you have to, and then you write in the website address last. So this is an example of your second source. So you always, for the reference citation, you write the whole thing in the reference citation, and then for your in-text direct quote, you put in the author, the date, and the page number. And then for the paraphrase quote, you put in the author and the date. You don't put in the whole thing. And then you write the whole thing in the references, which is going to be at the end of your paper. And so I will do one more. So if I wanted to do www.fortisucla.edu, let's say. The title of the page would be How UCLA is a Great University. Okay, how UCLA is a great university. Same thing here. You would have C, okay, for its current. And so this article is current, and therefore it's, good. And then you have A, the author is an alumni of UCLA, and then P, purpose, this is for educational purposes. O, Okay, not an ad and not biased. And W would be no grammar errors. So that's kapow. And then you can put in something like UCLA Bruins get great jobs. Okay, so let's say that's from the website, and then you put in Smith, the author's name, you put in the date, and then you put in the page number, and you have to have your quotation marks, and then here you could write in UCLA gets good, UCLA alumni get good jobs, you put in the author's name, you put in the date, and then you put everything here. So the reason why I'm running out of time is this is a screencast-o-matic. I only can do it for 15 minutes. So anyway, so this is how you would do your assignment, in which you have the website link, title of the page, title of the website, and then in 3 sentences you talk about why it's credible using kapow. And so this is a more detailed description on how you would do your 3 sources. You can put these 3 sources either into your week 9 post or into your week 12 assignment. If you have any other questions, you can feel free to email me. Thanks.